Good evening, I'm Jess Hayden, and on behalf of the Susquehanna Folk Music Society, I'd like to welcome you to tonight's Emerging Artists Showcase. Tonight's program is the final event in this year's Endless Summer Susquehanna Folk Festival. The Susquehanna Folk Music Society is based in the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area, and we present concerts, dances, workshops, coffee houses, and jams in our annual festival in the summer. Find out more about our events at susquehannafolk.org. The Susquehanna Folk Festival is sponsored by the National Endowment for the Arts, Explore York, the Cultural Alliance of York County, and others. Now, on to Sarah, Willard Lee, and Peter Lee, who will kick off tonight's Emerging Artist Showcase.
Well, thank you so much, Jess. Good evening, folks. My name is Peter Winter.
And I'm Sarah Willard Lee.
We are both board members of the Susquehanna Folk Music Society, and we are honored to return as your host for tonight's 2021 Emerging Artist Showcase.
Since its inception in 2018, the Emerging Artist Showcase has been an exciting part of the Susquehanna Folk Festival and given our audiences a chance to catch new talent on the rise.
In 2020, when the decision was made to take the Emerging Artist Showcase virtual, we were able to enjoy performances from a wider range of artists than ever before, with finalists hailing from across Pennsylvania, Nashville, Tennessee, and even Dingle, Ireland.
Tonight's 5 finalists hail from across the East Coast, and we are excited for you to hear them perform.
Now, before we move forward, folks, here's a quick rundown of how tonight's competition is going to work.
So over the course of this evening, each artist will have roughly a 12-minute slot to perform live for you and our distinguished panel of 4 judges, after which we will keep the artist on for a few minutes and let you get to know them better.
Now, the judges are going to rate the performers on their stage appearance, their originality, personality, consistency, and overall performance.
So be sure to stay tuned for the entire broadcast, not only to see all the performers and the winner, but to participate in the audience vote, where you will have a chance in assisting the judges in picking tonight's winner.
So without further ado, let's get to some music.
Sorry, folks, we are having a bit of some difficulty. Awesome. I think our first person is ready now. Okay.
That's showbiz, folks.
Live performance. All right.
It's the miracle of having it all live, but we're excited, and here we go. So we are welcoming, who is now our first performer of the evening. Emma June is an Azorean American singer-songwriter hailing from Greenfield, Massachusetts. She calls what she writes folk journalism, using her 28 years of stories. Using her 28 years of stories, her Americana-inspired sounds leads the listener through an archive of familial memory, of loves lost and won, and an unshakable political ethos. This fall, she is releasing the much-awaited EP entitled Hard Work. So please, from the comfort of your home or wherever you're watching, give a warm Susquehanna folk welcome to Emma June.
Good evening, everyone. All right, here we go. 2, 3, 4. They said it's gonna be hard work. No one told me it's gonna be easy. All things will work out my way. But I ain't looking back, and I can't take the high road. Cause you keep dishing low blows like tired jeans you outgrow. I'm throwing this away because I can't stay. I'm sick of hearing you say you're talking kind of loud in this library of your life. Oh, I just want to shout. You took everything you wanted, left me to find myself. There is something kind of haunted about these empty shelves because I can't stay. Oh! They said it's gonna be hard work. No one told me it's gonna be easy. All things won't work out my way, but I ain't looking back. And I can't take the high road, cause you keep dishing low blows like tired jeans you outgrow. I'm throwing this away because I can't say. Yeah, something slow and steady got me looking towards the west. And beneath the fire's burning, I got something in my chest. No one's ever gonna save ya until you let it rest. My heart's rising like a phoenix from the embers of its nest, because I can't stay. I can't stay. No, I can't stay. I can't stay. I can't stay. Oh, I can't stay. I can't stay. Oh, they said it's gonna be hard work. No one told me it's gonna be easy. All things will work out my way, but I ain't looking back. Thank you so much, friends. I'd love to know where y'all are from. We are here out in Western Massachusetts. So if you would kindly write in the chat where y'all are based, across the world. It's so special that we get to play for a national and maybe international audience this evening. And where I am from, where we are from, is so critical and influential to the music that we make out here in Western Mass. We are so lucky to be steeped in incredible sounds and folk music and Americana music. And this is where we sort of garner our inspiration from. So what an honor to be here with y'all tonight. So this next song is a hymn to the past 2 years, if you will. I was driving to work one evening, and I was listening to the radio. Out here we have NPR, and the radio host said, "The running of the bulls is canceled. Even the running of the bulls is canceled." And that really struck me. I was like, God, it's gotta be bad if even the running of the bulls is canceled. And so this is a little hymn to losing everything you know as it is and imagining what can grow from what is lost. Matador gazed out the window, bloody sigh rising over the rink. With his head in his hands, he curses the man who says it's not safe to fight in the streets. And the world's title car cries riot, and the reels are a entire ghost town, and the talkies have gone silent, and the color is bleeding out, and the running of the bulls was canceled, and the people didn't fly to Pamplona. And what can you do when everything you knew is gone? The red flag was sown for provocation. All but the bulls, they are colorblind. Yes, they are. And people pay big money to see it. But I tell you, it's all a lie. And some say it takes some courage to look the devil in the eye. Oh, what is art if it's not made of pain? When the road to hell is all the same. And the running of the bulls was canceled, and the people didn't fly to Pamplona. And what can you do when everything you knew is gone? If you bought a ticket to the running of the how it makes you easy prey. Bullfighting turns death into art and puts our fear of it on display. And the running of the bulls was canceled, and the people didn't fly Pavlona. And what can you do when everything you knew is gone? Is gone. Is gone. Thank you, friends. Hey there, Brianna. So much love to you. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. I am here because amazing human beings like my dear friend Brianna keep coming back, encouraging this sort of artistry that has been kicking and screaming at me since I was a tiny person. Hey there, Kate. I look forward to connecting with you, and let's see who's out there. Brian out in South Jersey. Thanks for tuning in, friends. All right, so that was Running of the Bulls, and again, I'm Emma June, and this is the love of my life here on bass, Asher Marino. And we have a couple more for y'all. So this next tune is an ode or a prayer to everyday connection. And obviously this is something that many of us are yearning for or haven't had enough of in the past year and a half plus now. But I'm going to tell you a little story. So I was on tour back, in 2000 BC when we were, on the road back in the day. And so my band, we played a show down in Nashville, and we got to stay with so many incredible strangers along the way. And this incredible woman offered us a place to stay after the show. And we went to her home, and she sat us down, made us some tea, and she said, "You know what, girls?" And I'm not going to recreate her Southern accent because I would be a disgrace if I tried that. She was like, "You know what? You deserve what you want." And that was something I really needed to hear in that moment. So I guess on this Sunday, recognizing the holiness in everyday things and taking the time to pause. This is a little song called Milktooth, and it's dedicated to a holy woman in Nashville, Tennessee. One street town, I'm wanting more. Moon like a grapefruit on the porch. Oh, I'm always fighting in this civil war. The devil told me I was born a girl. All I ever did was lose you. Build and tear the tower down. Oh, the days of my misspent youth. Never could pull my milk tooth. Never could pull my milk tooth. Holy woman said I deserve what I want, so I told her what I want is you. You're the only chance I got to build my sorrow into someone new. Sorrow ain't got nowhere to hide, can't hide this shifting heart of mine. Broken rhymes and great divides, her hands were my lifeline. Taught myself to hold my lips in place. Smile on my face doesn't mean I'm trying. Hail that merit full of grace. Can't keep gambling for better timing. No, we can't keep gambling for better timing. Oh, holy woman said I deserve what I want, so I told her what I want is you. You're the only chance I got. Build my sorrow into someone new. Never say my name. God would turn his back again, so I learned to live with no refrain when I was only 17. Words have weighed in my mouth for days. I'll take them out one by one while you stand and look amazed. You never realized what you had done. Never realized what you had done. Oh, holy woman said I deserve what I want, so That was Milk Tooth. Thank you again for everyone who's tuning in right now. My name is Emma June, and this is my incredible accompanist, Asher Marino. Thank you again. Please stick around for the rest of the evening, and be sure to vote, friends. Your vote really matters. I really appreciate it. I work full-time as a school teacher, and during the course of the pandemic, I spent a lot of time speaking into the great abyss, being like, is there anyone there? Echo, echo, echo. It's just so wonderful to see this chat thread alive and well. Thank you again for coming out this evening. I want you to think about someone you love very dearly and hold them in your heart and your mind's eye as you listen to this final song we're going to share with you this evening. This is Hungry Ghost. Come to me with your 10 drops of lavender. Oh, your mouth is shaped in apology. I'm walking out the back door, and I am always out of reach. Come to me, won't you come to me in the wayward lamplight hour? My hand's holding a summer peach. Take a bite before it sours. And I am always out of reach. And I am always out of reach. Oh, come to me, won't you come to me? Share your single serving life. Oh, there's enough for us to eat. These words will be our bread knife. And I am always out of reach. And I am always out of reach. And I am always out of reach. And I am always out. Close talking in a room of mouths, but you come back full of stories. Oh, you fold them beautiful paper towels, always find me in the morning. Oh, bird for me, tell me why we even bother. Oh, bird for me, tell me why. Oh, bird for me, tell me why we even bother. Bird for me, I don't mind. Oh, bird for me, show me why we even bother. Bird for me, show me why. Oh, bird for me, show me why we even bother. Burn for me, I don't lie. So the message that I want to leave you all with is we have such a great capacity to love. And don't forget that. That is the ultimate glue that holds us together. And even in these times where we have heavy souls, heavy hearts, and the great unknown resting on our shoulders, like the sort of Greek myth of Atlas with the world on your shoulders, love is all. Love is all, folks. And this is a little shout out to my family, Maria, Jim, and Aunt Nikki out there. We love you so much. And thank you to everyone again here in the chat. Brian, Brianna, Jim, Cable, thanks again. Have a good night.
Hey, Emma.
That was fantastic.
Hi, Sarah and Peter.
How's it going?
It's so good. How are you?
It's good. We're excited to be here with you and get to chat a little bit. So we had a couple questions for you, if that's okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So as we were, researching you as we do, we were reading your bio and looking at stuff, and you describe your music as folk journalism. And so we were kind of hoping that maybe you would expound on that a little bit for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So As a lover of words, I often use my songs as a vehicle to share stories of folks whose voices aren't often heard. This evening, you heard a lot of sappy love songs because, I mean, come on, right?
Yeah, right.
I do a lot of work as a freelance artist, working. I just finished a residency with a group of women veterans, leading some workshops using sort of documentary theater style practices. And I took all their interviews and stories and then synthesized them into a song. So for me, I sort of found this, I found this terminology, folk journalism, to describe what I write about and why I write about it, because it really like taps into not only like my political ethos of a song as a vehicle to say something or share something, but also that it's like a creative process that I'm really obsessed with. And there's a lot of like research behind it as well. So
awesome. That's really awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So how old were you when you first began crafting your own songs, and what was the inspiration to write that first one?
Much to the dismay of like my entire family, probably like right when I started making any sound. I think I was writing songs without words as a tiny person. My poor younger brother now lives in the Tetons, far away from me as a result of being tortured by me singing 24/7. But I think that the first song I wrote actually was dedicated to my cousin. And we were going through a pretty significant family event during the time. And I was like, how do I comfort her? Like, how can I tell her in the best, greatest way I possibly can that I love her and I'm here for her and I see her and I want to, and I'm a gift giver. So writing a song, it kind of just came together. And then I was like, oh, whoa, what? Like this is how I speak. This is how I think. And awesome. It was, it's been a journey ever since then. So
that's really awesome. Well, we heard that you were singing Hard Work for us this evening. Yes. Your title track. Awesome. So we know that you have this new record on the horizon, Hard Work. And so we just wanted to see like how it's going. And if you wanted to tell us anything about that record in general. So
thank you so much for asking.
Yeah.
Hard Work has been a labor of love with Asher and I over the course of the pandemic. When we were shut in together, we were like, all right, you and me, baby, we're going to do this. So we actually, we've been playing together over the course of the past 2 years. And then we went into the studio a couple months ago and we're now, as of yesterday, just sent off all the tracks for mastering, which is so exciting.
Nice. Congratulations, both of you. That's awesome.
Thank you. It's like having a baby, you're like,
I'm sure, yeah.
8 tracks long. It's, and so, yeah, we're really excited. We don't have an exact date for release yet because we want to be really intentional with it. And we also are kind of waiting to see how the world continues to respond to itself. But it's coming. And this is the first time we've played it for anyone, actually.
We got the debut.
Yeah, I saw on social media that you were like, we're going to do some new songs. And I was like, yes, we can. This is great. So that's awesome. Well, we are so excited to have had you with us this evening. Thank you so much for sharing. We look forward to the new record.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Yes,
thank you.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. All right.
Lovely.
Yeah, that was wonderful. So our next artist that we're going to go ahead and introduce is Noah G. Fowler. Noah is a singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist hailing from central Pennsylvania and currently based in Nashville, Tennessee. His songwriting is folkloric, drawing heavily from Appalachian and Celtic storytelling traditions, the 60s folk revival, and many classic Texan storytelling songwriters for inspiration. So, as we said before, wherever you are, give a round of applause for Noah Fowler.
Wow. Hello. Thanks for having us. My name is Noah G. Fowler. The G stands for grateful to be here tonight. And tonight, we're going to kick it off. We're coming at you live from Richmond, Virginia. So we're going to sing one of my favorite songs. It's called the Blue Virginia Blues. And it's about a guy who takes a 20-hour-long Greyhound bus ride to Richmond to meet a girl in the city. And she doesn't show up to pick him up at the station. And I love that so much because that sounds like something that would happen to me, just taking him seemingly on bus rides to far off lands. And yeah, anyway, well, yeah, we'll get started. Have you ever been to Richmond in November? When that cold Virginia rain is pouring down. Well, I'm here to tell you, friend, that it's no pleasure when you're all alone and a stranger to the town. Don't get me wrong, I do like East Virginia. And Richmond's full of hospitality, except for one Virginia girl I once knew, who made perfect love wreck out of me. Oh, Virginia blues, there ain't no blue like blue Virginia blues. Oh, there's no girls in the whole wide world that can break your heart like Virginia girls. There ain't no blue like Virginia blues. Mandolin. She called me up in St. Paul, Minnesota. She said, I need you here in Richmond right away. Take the bus, I'll meet you at the station. Won't you pack some clothes? I might want you to stay. Well, I got to that station around midnight. There ain't a soul around here but me. Well, she must have changed her mind or since forgotten, and her name ain't in the phone directory. Oh, Virginia blues, there ain't no blue like blue Virginia blues. Oh, there's no girls in the whole wide world that can break your heart like Virginia girls. There ain't no blue like blue Virginia blues. I wish I had the money for a taxi or a warm, quiet place to lay me down. For all alone now in Richmond, and that cold Virginia rain is pouring down. Oh, blue, Virginia blue. There ain't no blue like blue, Virginia blue. Oh, there's no girls in the whole wide world that could break your heart like Virginia girls. There ain't no blue like blue, Virginia blues. Oh, there ain't no blue like blue, Virginia blues. All right. I love singing that one, especially in Richmond with Virginia girl herself, Miss Kaylee Galante, joining us on vocals there. I'm joined here by the band Paul Myra. I'm currently on tour with them. We're just finishing a run of Virginia shows, and we're gonna be coming up to Central Pennsylvania this week. So keep an eye on our schedule. You can find that on my website, noahgfowler.com. So this next one is a very Pennsylvania song, I think, because I wrote it about Pennsylvania. My grandmother's from Girardville in Schuylkill County, and it was always something she wanted me to do, was to write a song about the Molly Maguires, and I tried for a while but couldn't quite write something I felt was right for the Molly Maguires and what they did, and I ended up discovering a story that involved them when researching Centralia for a song. And I found a story where in Centralia, long before the town ever had the underground fires, the Molly Maguires were active there, and well, I'll play the song and you can hear what happened. I've come here to sing you a story about the fire still burning today. Under Centralia, in the heart of Pennsylvania, where now only 5 people stay. It was in 1869, came the priest from Philadelphia to save the town, said their souls were going down. He said, man, I'm here to save you. He said, you better quit all your sinning, for hell has a raging fire. Oh, Satan has saved for the lazy workers, free thinkers, and Molly Maguires. The Mollys had never been stronger. They fought and died for the working man. They killed our first mayor when he showed too much favor to the companies, putting the town in danger. So they sent us a dirty priest, thinking he could do them a favor, to threaten the souls of the hard-working folks, so they do the unsafest labor. He said, you better quit all your sinning, for hell has raging fire. Oh, Satan has saved for the lazy workers, free thinkers, and Molly Maguires. So then my great-grandfather, he took 3 of his best fighting men. Well, they wouldn't kill a deacon, sure as hell ruin his weekend. He won't come back to Centralia again. That priest did more than frown. He say he cursed the whole goddamn town. Said it all fall away, and all that remained would be the church of Saint Ignatius. So here comes my part of the story, this one that I'm singing to you. When one day I found in my tanks underground hit a temperature of 172. And it's been 100 years now since they hung all the Molly Maguires. Now the town's not done paying for the deeds of that day and was cursed with an underground fire. And everyone had to move out. There's 5 of us left in town. Fire still burns today, and all that's unscathed is the church of Saint Ignatius. And if heaven is full of executives who made money off of anthracite, just throw me down in their raging fire in hell with the Molly Maguires. And if heaven is full of executives and angels mighty anthracite, just throw me down in that raging fire in hell with the Molly Maguires. Yeah. All right. So yeah, basically to recap, if you missed it in the song, the Molly Maguires roughed up a priest and he cursed the town, and you can either believe that that's the reason why the fire started, or you can believe the fire started because of the unsafe mining conditions that the Molly Maguires were fighting against in the first place, depending on how much mysticism you allow in your life. Anyway, this next one is related to the last one in that it's a warehouse working song. I worked in a warehouse, and pretty much everybody I know has, both my parents, brother, all my high school friends. And so I wrote this one as a warehouse song in the same kind of spirit as a lot of the classic coal mining tunes. This is the last one for tonight, so thank you if you've stuck around this far, and I hope you'll stick around for one last one of me. And I do believe Tanner's coming up after me. He plays banjo in one of my favorite Central Pennsylvania bands, Seldom Said No. And yeah, and if you want to catch me, I'll be up in Central Pennsylvania in my home. I grew up in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and these days I live in Nashville, Tennessee. Anyway, this one especially goes out to anyone who worked in the UPS warehouse on Allen Road. This one's called Bury Me in Boxes When I Die. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I can't stay a while. Have to get home soon. I'll pay you back when I can. My word is good, but the rent is due. Working so damn hard, I've got cracks in my arms. I don't feel the pain anymore. I spend my time sorting line on the warehouse floor, and if I turn my shift, productivity will take a hit. We'll just push my body away, clean it up if you get a break. Oh, if I die working the sorting line, push me aside, then just bury me in boxes when I die. Get boxes and people from all over the place, but we send a lot of them back. Tell and fill it will go. If it's got a crack, get your money back. This box I hold smells of marijuana. I wish to God that I was stoned. And if I die in this warehouse, at least I won't die alone. And if I kick it during my shift, productivity will take a hit. We'll just push my body away, clean it up at the end of the day. Oh, if I die working the sword and line, push me aside, then just bury me in boxes when I die. Mandolin. If I so much as sprain my wrist, all the shareholders will take a hit. Crooked doctor who is my pain and fentanyl, take me away. Oh, if I die working the sword and line, push me aside. Well, you're on the clock, don't you dare waste your time. So just bury me in boxes when I die. All right, thank you so much for listening, everyone. And yeah, stick around. I think I'm gonna do some talking here in a bit. Thank you to Elmira for backing me up from those.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, hello. Nice to see you.
Hey, Noah.
Rock and roll, Noah. That
Hey,
was great.
do you want to take a moment to introduce your band since they also sounded
Yeah.
awesome this evening?
Introduce your friends.
So that's Willis right there on the mandolin. This is Manoa, also known as Bubba, on the bass. And this is Teddy right here playing the D35 Martin guitar.
Beautiful.
You can find all of them. They're all in their own right incredible songwriters, and you should absolutely check out their band Palmyra at your earliest convenience.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Very
Awesome.
cool. All right, Mr. Fowler. So you released a new record this year, Gone Again. I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about that album.
Yeah. So that was a really, really fun recording experience doing that. So the first half of it, a lot of my friends, I went to Berkeley for a little bit. So I had a lot of friends up in Boston who were really good musicians, and I really wanted to make a record with them. So I would take the Amtrak from Harrisburg up to Boston and just crash on couches. I started that around November of 2020. And the first half of it was recorded in my friend Mike, who also played drums in the record, his attic. We all took all of our microphones and recorded the first 4 tracks just that way. And then I ended up, after that, going down and visiting Nashville and Richmond and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the next part of my life once I was out playing again and once it was a bit safer to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back up to a little town called Rockport, which actually I have a song called Rockport on the record. And got an Airbnb. It was Joel and Barry's Airbnb. So Joel and Barry, thank you very much.
Shout out to them.
For making an Airbnb. That was so nice. And we first took a picture so we knew where everything was. And then we just cleared all the furniture out and moved the drums and all the equipment in and recorded the rest of the album up in Rockport, Massachusetts. The album artwork is by a guy named Eric Teat. He is a graphic designer based out of Berlin who specializes in animation. And I considered him first off because my main guy, who's a Boiling Springs based graphic designer named Cole Winters, who I highly recommend checking out. I had already given him way too much work, but Eric also specialized in animation, and I wanted this record to be on Spotify, and Spotify just had the new Canvas thing, so I wanted to have album art that would work well with that. So
That's awesome.
that was a big
Very cool.
consideration. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, since you mentioned all of your Amtracking around the East Coast, we actually had a question about that. And so we wanted to just ask you, you know, what inspires you when you're traveling? And have you kind of formed, since you've been doing so much Amtracking, have you formed this kind of special relationship with railway travel that inspires you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't play any of the tunes tonight, but I have, I think,
A couple
3 or
train
4
songs.
songs on that record that are all in some way related to trains,
Nice.
including one
Yeah.
that I'm really proud of called "The Gandy Dancer," which is it's on the record. It's about a railroad worker and his struggle with a woodland being hell bent on destroying the railroads and the expansion into the Wild West. And it's a pretty good pop country tune, I think.
Very cool. That's
Something
awesome.
like that, you know.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So, 2020 was a weird year for all of us, but touring musicians, it was very much a shutdown. And this year has kind of been, we're getting back to it in fits and starts. So how has it felt for you getting to travel again and start playing shows? What have the emotions been for you?
It's been really good, because this is how, for the first time in my life, I've been able to make a living by just traveling and playing shows. And it's been probably the most satisfying. And I'm not very old. I'm 21, which is maybe old if you're a teenager or a young whippersnapper.
It's all relative.
But, it's just been really amazing to be able to just, get in the old GMC car and travel and play shows and sort of live sort of like the troubadour lifestyle, and just kind of put out a tip jar and have that be what pays for the roof over your head and the food on your table. It's been incredibly rewarding, and it's just been what I want to do for my whole life. That's all I've wanted. And now, I mean, the pandemic was rough because I was going to a Berklee College of Music, and then the school shut down, and I just decided I wasn't going to go back when classes were still online, and then started changing gears. And it feels like now that we have the vaccine and people are getting vaccinated, and venues are requiring proof of vaccination in many places, and in certain counties where the levels are still bad, people are masking up, we can have live music again. And there's, with the exception of seems like the Delta strain, I've lost a couple shows to that, unfortunately.
Yep.
With the exception of that, in my life, there's not really anything stopping me from living this dream and doing the whole musician troubadour kind of lifestyle. And so I'm really happy, and right now I'm in a really good spot with it.
That's awesome.
It feels
Fantastic.
good.
Well, we are super excited to have had you with this evening, and
everyone check Noah's coming back to the area.
Yeah, so check out
in the coming days.
Noah's schedule. We're excited to have you back here in Pennsylvania with us for a bit. So
yeah, it'll be good to
that's
be
super
home.
exciting. Yeah,
Good to have you back.
yeah. Thanks everybody. We appreciate you. Great job.
Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks. So we just wanted to take a quick moment to actually recognize our outstanding panel of judges who have the particularly difficult job in selecting tonight's winner.
Kate Bright is a music teacher at Lincoln Charter School in York. She is also an avid international folk dancer, contra dancer, and musician.
JJ Sheffer is the mastermind behind several York City cultural institutions, including Cable House Presents, a concert series hosted in York's historic Central Market, and York Story Slam, an open mic storytelling series.
I say it every year, but one of the most fantastically curated concert series ever. Anyone who brings Lydia Lovelace to the area has my undying loyalty forever. Our next judge, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Joe Cooney, coordinates the SFMS Folk Jams, Coffee House shows, and annual Emerging Artist Showcase. His band, Joe Cooney and Friends, plays well over 100 gigs annually in the central PA region. Joe is one of the hardest working men in show business. I will attest to that.
And last but not least, we have Rob Cronin, who was our winner last year for the 2020 Emerging Artist Showcase. Rob is a blues guitarist and singer from Berks County, Pennsylvania. All righty. So our next artist is Mitchell Evan. Mitchell is a singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist from Richmond, Virginia. Since the age of 16, he has been writing, performing, and traveling the country in search of new landscapes and soundscapes. He has found his most authentic voice on his new self-titled album, which was released in March 2021. Feel free to give a round of applause to Mitchell Evan.
Thanks, folks. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been trying to get in for the past 45 minutes, and I finally made my internet work. So, I'm just happy to be here. My name is Mitchell Evan. That's Mitchell with one L, Evan no S. I have to say that because everyone gets it wrong. My mom plagued me with that. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and I've spent 2 years in Pennsylvania, actually. I went to Shippensburg University. I tried to go to Shippensburg University, dropped out after 2 years, and then I spent 4 years in Colorado. And a lot of the songs on my my self-titled record, which came out this past March, were written in Colorado and come from that point in time in my life. And I'm going to play some songs from that now. This first song is called "As Far As You Know." Oh, hold on. I need to plug in. Whoa, sorry about that. Can you hear that? Okay. Here we go. I'm far behind. Who's in the White House? What have we done this time? I'm out of sight. Did you lose your attention or just my mind? And I'm far behind the latest treatment, university trends. They try. You've got a flag, well, I've got opinions that don't matter much. It's just a crutch. I was good to you, I was good to you, I was good to you, oh, I was good to you, I was good to you, as far as you know. I'm out of touch. You ready sequence, call it bad luck. And I'm far behind. What was I thinking? Trying to find silver lines. And I'm far behind. Put on record your favorite one. This time, don't tell me why. Don't stop the needle until it's done. And I will trust you were good to me. You were good to me. You were good to me. Oh, you were good to me. You were good to me. As far as you know, locked out from the inside, pressed into the night. I was a good guy.
to be good to you. I was good to you. I was good to you. Oh, I was good to you. 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 Good to you. As far as you go. Thank you. Sorry, I'm going to turn down the guitar a little bit. I think both are a tad loud. All right. There we go. Maybe a little less noise. I'm gonna play a song. Let's see which songs I want to play. Yeah, I'm gonna play a song from the backside of the record called Leeches. We made a music video for this song at the James River in Richmond, which was what inspired this song. Go out, everyone goes home. You stick around, flip through your phone. Let's pack a car with all the useless plastic. Go for there's this lights go out and everyone goes home, you stick around. That's how I know. That's it for that one. Thank you for everyone who's watching. Thank you to the judges for being here, giving your time. It's an honor for me to be here. Not being from the Susquehanna region, I really appreciate being making it this far. We'll see. And because I wasn't able to log in, I regret not being able to see all of the performances, but I'm looking forward to diving into their music and getting to know them better. You know, what I'm really just hoping to gain from this whole experience is to become connected with your lovely community up there, and to meet you folks and make some friends, you know, hopefully along the way. Well, I'm gonna end with the last song on the record, because it is it's a story. I put this song last because I think it most succinctly tells the story more than any other song on the record. I'm sorry about things peaking, being too loud. I'm gonna try to turn things down a little bit. Yes, this song is called "Everything to Nothing," and I'm very proud of it. This is one that it took a lot of rewrites, draft after draft after draft. I may have rewritten it 6 or 7 times, and I could still only get it down to 5 minutes. All right, here we go. 1, 2. Time for once in my life, oh, I had a place of my own. We could get by on coffee grinds and avocado toast, and there was art on the wall, paint on the floor, and alcohol in the mini cooler. I don't judge, and I called it sober, but I would have been better off drunk. Twirl her natural curls and fishnet she had on, and I would watch from a shadowy spot where no one would notice. I charmed my way and took someone's place. I reckon there's a lot of different roles I played. I was on time and I made her mine, and that's all I let her know. Everything till she was gone. And I got lost in the parking lot. The nurse said I shouldn't smoke so much, but I never needed to burn one up as much as I did in that moment. I was on time in the waiting line. The ER sign said 1 at a time. Well, I could tell she was terrified, so I told her shitty jokes. I peeled you off and I bit my tongue, kissed your mouth called my mom. Paced the floor and cursed the Lord. Said, you better know what you're doing. She was everything till she was nothing. She was everything till she was gone. So much for integrity. Guess I was bluffing. Everything till she was gone. Sometimes charity's futile, asking why instead of how. I never knew what to say or do, but I don't have to now. She was everything till she was nothing. She was everything till she was gone. So much for my honesty. Guess I was bluffing. It's everything now. It's
Woohoo!
Thank you for listening, folks.
Yay!
Mitchell, that was rocking.
Yeah.
Thank
we
you so
are
much.
So glad that you were with us. We were so worried that you weren't going to make it in. So thank you so much for keep being persistent, persevering.
So, folks, if you want a glimpse into the behind-the-scenes drama that goes on at the Susquehanna Folk Festival Emerging Artist Showcase, Mitchell was actually slated to be first, and then, as the internet and the twirls of
Technology.
destiny have it, he was having some tech glitches. So, shout out to Emma June for actually
Yes.
stepping up. She was supposed to be second. She jumped to first and had an amazing set. And now we almost lost hope, but we're so happy that you are able to get online and join us virtually, Mitchell.
I almost lost hope too. I'm so glad that I made it.
We
We
held
are
it together.
so-
We banded
yeah,
together.
the set was awesome. So we're glad that we didn't miss it.
Thank you.
So, Mitchell, you released a self-titled record back in March. And, I think as music fans, we all know that that's kind of, not all artists have self-titled records, but it's kind of a big deal when an artist has the album that they want to slap their name on. So what about this collection of songs for you was like, this is my self-titled album?
That's true, and that's a good question. Yeah, because this is not my first record. This is like my third record under my name, and then I have albums with other bands too. But it just felt right. Like I wasn't sure if I would ever know. Like, how do you know? But I guess it's a confidence thing, or a representation thing. Like, I just feel like this group of songs represents me, or a version of myself that felt cohesive and real, like a real tangible character, and there is like a
like a Shakespearean element to the story of the record.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very
I
cool.
like that a lot.
Yeah, I do too. So obviously you've been writing for a long time. You've probably written hundreds of songs since you were 16.
That's what I found out on the internet.
So there you go. So are there any lessons that you have learned as a songwriter that you've as you've honed your craft that you really think about as you're writing?
Yeah. As I've grown over the years, I've become less interested in fluff and more interested in content, personally, I'm drawn to like tangible artifacts in songs, things that names of streets or people or colors, things that you can really grab onto and build a picture with.
Sure.
But as far as getting your ideas out there, I think a lot of the time, I have lots of different processes, and most of the time it seems that it's more of a sculpting process where I write a lot, like pages of verses, and then it's kind of unconscious and just flowing out, and there's no self-judgment or anything like that, and then I come back through it with a different type of mind, with an analytical editing mind, and I chop it up and I keep only what's necessary. And that is one approach. But if I was going to give some advice, like one succinct advice, I would say, if you have an idea, start with that idea. Like just write it down. Can you put it down in a sentence? And if you can, then you have something to start with.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I like that. Start with that foundation. It's nice. So you're also and all of my Mitchell Evan research, you're also a visual artist as well. So I'm curious, which came first, the music or the visual art?
That's a good question. I don't know though. I can't remember. I've always been creative, I suppose, and interested in the arts. It's always been what I was attracted to, and I was kind of lucky enough to grow up in a family that fostered that. I grew up doing musical theater with my siblings, and I sang in choir and was always in art, and then I took like private like painting lessons and stuff that my mom wanted me to do, when I was like 10 years old, like painting still lifes of fruit and stuff. And I loved it, man. So I don't know actually, but I think writing was the first thing. I think that came first.
Your first love.
I remember being in third grade and conjuring up these grand, fantastical stories,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Mitchell, we really cannot say enough how excited we are that you made it on and that we got to hear your set this evening. And so thanks for, again, holding strong and making it happen.
And quick shout out, folks. Mitchell, I believe you are coming to Tellus 360 in Lancaster on October 2nd. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. And I'll actually be at the Fire in Philadelphia on this Wednesday as well.
Nice.
Way to know your tour dates. So good.
Yeah, that one just came together recently, and
Awesome.
it's with 2 local bands. So I think that's my first time playing in Philly.
Nice.
awesome.
Great city, man.
If not first time in a long time. And then I'm really excited about Tellus 360 because I dated a girl from Lancaster, so I've spent some time in Lancaster.
Yeah.
And
Great area.
that's a really cool
That's a
really
classic
cool
spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone come out and see Mitchell
Yeah.
rocking it at Tellus.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mitchell.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye. All right, folks. Now is the time where we are going to talk about how you vote tonight. Now, we still have 2 more artists coming up, but do you want to?
Yes. After our last finalist, and we have 2 more to go. After our last finalist, Sarah and I will announce the opening of the audience vote.
All right, so this means that you, the audience, actually are able to vote for your favorite performance of the night and help the judges decide who should be our next emerging artist winner.
Starting at the moment Sarah and I open the ballots, voting will be open for 5 minutes, and then it's over. So none of them votes you can do beforehand will count, and nothing after that 5 minutes. So get it in during that window.
Right. So voting can be completed at our website, which you can see right here. So you can go ahead and open that tab on your computer or your mobile device and have it ready to go, but don't vote yet because it will not count. So make sure you wait until the voting segment opens and we will let you know when that happens.
I know it's tempting. But
It is very
don't do it.
tempting. All righty. We're ready for our next artist.
Mm-hmm. The Stable Shakers is a Pennsylvania-based outfit featuring songwriter and guitarist Spencer File and vocalist Brecken Chase, who strive to create music that is both nostalgic and contemporary. Their most recent release, Low Key, released in December of 2020, is a musical glimpse into the experience and observation of File during the pandemic. Give it up, folks, for the Stable Shakers.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining in, and thank you so much for having us, Susquehanna Folk Festival. We're so honored to be part of the one of the finalists, and hope you enjoy some music. We've been enjoying some music, so thanks.
Yes, indeed.
Late night phone call, you're my friend, I need you. I've been lonely, I've been low key. Long time ago, I believed that I could be whatever I want. All the years come and go. Do you still believe that I could be whatever I want? Big sky, rain cloud, I'm an optimist, but I'm filled with doubt. I need something, I have no idea. Long time ago, I believed that I could be whatever I want. Good friends come and go. Do you still believe that I could be whatever I want? I miss my innocence. I'm a long way from home. Miss my innocence. Feels like a long way from home. Sometimes life gives you love, but love can be sad. Sometimes it's easier said when it's just left unsaid. Everything's tumbling down, feeling so vulnerable now. Everything's tumbling down, feeling so vulnerable now. And I need you, friend. I need you, friend. I need you, friend. I need you, friend.
Hey, how's everybody doing out there? Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys, checking this out. We're having too much fun. This is Spencer File. Oh, he just ducked out. Now he's back. Spencer and I are stable shakers, and we got Klaus Funk with us tonight too. He's bringing in those sweet sounds. So, all right, we're gonna do one that actually Klaus and I wrote together recently. This one is called Song Number 5. It's all gone, your bone dry, goes down. It's been too long, you're swallowed up, closed down, like a window painted shut. I'm stuck. It's no use, it won't be good enough. I was wrong, you're still there. Come back. It's been too long. You can't be swallowed up, but not now. I can feel it buried underneath. It's okay if it's not good enough. It's okay if it's not good. It's okay if it's not good. It's okay if it's not good. It's good enough. I'm just gonna I want to look at the comments. What's up? Hey everybody. All right, cool. I see some family and friends coming in, giving a shout out to Libby. Allison, Ida, what's up? Hey everybody. Friends new and old, thanks for coming in. Do you want to talk about this next song? During the shutdown, my husband here, he was very productive and was able to write a lot of songs. And go ahead.
Yes.
You may speak now, husband.
Well, I would like to know what the next song is.
It's Glimpse.
Oh, Glimpse. Well, this is just a glimpse into what we were doing during the quarantine period, I guess, the lockdown. Brecken and I were fortunate enough that no one that was close to us was ill or, lost their jobs. And we were able to just be creative, and I'll just let the music speak for itself.
Okay.
Thank you for tuning in.
I get a glimpse every now and then. Don't always like what I see. Oh, and this is our last song of the night. It's late, and I'm still late. Thanks for listening. Don't be sorry, and don't you wait up on me. Feel like something is amiss inside. I hear it like a drum, but I can't trust my lying
Who should I see? Could anyone be proud of me? Life is love. Life is alright. Love is a gamble and it's trying. It reveals itself at night. Well, I'm feeling like a nowhere man. I like to do the right things and I truly hope I can. Grateful, thankful, grateful for the love I've known and for all that I adore. Wait for me, darling. I'll be knocking at your door. I catch a glimpse every now and then, and I don't always like what I see. I catch a glimpse every now and then, and I don't always like what I see. Grateful, thankful, grateful for the love I've known and for all that I adore. Wait for me, darling. I'll be knocking at your door. Wait for me, darling. I'll be knocking. Wait for me, darling. I'll be knocking at your door. Knocking at your door. Knocking at your door. Knocking at your door. Knocking at your door.
Thanks, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
Awesome.
Good. How are y'all doing?
Good. We're
Doing
so glad
great.
to have you on this evening. Thanks so
Thanks
much.
for-
The set was awesome.
Kicking, man.
Thanks
Love
for
it.
having us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So we have a couple questions for you all, if you don't mind. So we've already mentioned a couple times that you guys released an album in 2020, Low Key, and you had discussed how it was a lot of your pandemic experiences. So do you want to expound on that or tell us any stories about particular songs?
I guess I can say this. I'm not much of a talker, but
That's
the
okay.
subject
That's
matter,
not true.
the subject matter for the material was mostly, that people are losing loved ones. People are losing jobs. There's such anxiety and such fear and uncertainty writ large, regardless of, it's boundaryless, it's universal.
Sure.
And so as far as the songwriting process went, we were trying to write material that would be not specific, but universal, so that you could think of a song and think of like a dog that passed away or a relative that passed away, whatever. We didn't try to make the lyrics so specific or so personal that the average listener wouldn't be able to like identify with it. So we tried to keep it universal. And as I was going on this writing spree, our kitchen's right over here, and Brecken just said, "Hey, let's do a duo album." And I was like, "What? That's a crazy idea." And like 10 seconds later, it's like, "Actually, that's a great idea." So it was just acoustic guitars, electric guitars, layered, and Brecken's genius. So here's the thing: I will write melodies for songs, and I can't sing. So when I'm writing glimpse, I'm like, "I catch a glimpse," and like, so she can take any melody that I do and make it, way better than I can possibly imagine. And
I taught you how to play all the guitar parts
and
too.
Klaus
which
is
is
a
crazy.
guitarist. Klaus is a local guitarist that we've known forever. And he, post COVID, we reconnected our relationship, and he's just an outstanding musician and guitarist. And he believes deeply in the material we've been doing. So it's just been, we feel very fortunate with the musical situation that we have right now.
That's awesome.
It sounds
Really,
great,
really
guys. So I'm kind of fascinated by this because the Stable Shakers is not your first rodeo playing music together, but it is like a new band. So what did it feel like having already been in musical projects together, starting a new band together? Did it feel sort of the same, or was it a different dynamic? If you could expound on that.
I would say that it was different in that I guess that we're the main songwriters and we're like the front people now. In the other bands we've been with, you were the front man or I was the front woman. But now we've come and made it more of a collaborative thing between the two of us, which has been cool as husband and wife. I mean, it can go real bad real quick. But
yeah,
it's been great. And
but believe it or not, we're actually like really good friends, and we sleep in separate rooms, of course, but we're still
other than that.
And Klaus is actually my ex-husband, so it's fine. I'm just kidding. He's
also
kind of
my current lover. So
it's just going.
It makes an interesting dynamic. But you're probably referring to the Hello Strangers, which was the band where Brecken and her sister were the front women, and I was just kind of a side guy, like a lead guitar player. And then when that band went on hiatus, I had an instrumental, like cowboy jazz band going, and we'd be out on the road playing. And I just like missed having her around on the road. And I was like, why don't I just start writing vocal songs again? And my father had passed away in 2011. It was like, I'm not trying to go Debbie Downer on you, but it was impossible for me to write like a vocal tune. And it wasn't until COVID happened that I was actually able to do it. And I just want to say one other thing. Most of the material you heard was written about this dog, Lloyd, that's behind us. He was our beagle that we had for 15 years, and he was like a son to us. We don't have any actual children. So sorry to those people out there who do have kids, and they're like, "Hey, you got a kid?" Yeah, no doubt. But anyway, that's why we have a studio. We decided to do it here just for that reason, because we love that little guy so much.
That's awesome.
It's a great picture.
It is a great picture. He's right there with you all. So one more quick question for you all. We notice that there's kind of a hesitancy to kind of slap a label or genre on the music that you all are making together. So how do you two kind of think about and approach genre and style when it comes to this setup together as a band?
We kind of keep it open. I mean, we both come from different projects. Like before we met, I was in more of an Americana folk band, and you were in more of a progressive rock jammy band. When we first met, we were in two different, completely different bands. So, but I think our respect for each other as musicians and how we both kind of liked what each other was doing, that's kind of melded into what this is. So we bring in the folk and we bring in the jammy and we bring in whatever we are feeling, whatever the jam.
I'll say something else. So
kind of brings.
I'm like an aspiring jazz guitar player. I sit around playing jazz all the time. This woman right here knows because of her dad, Joel. Joel, if you're listening,
Hey, Dad.
He's a jazz pianist. He listens to all the best jazz, all the best classical. He's
My mom would be watching too, but she's at a Los Lobos concert. Woo!
Right. But this
Gotta make
woman can
decisions.
sing any jazz. So during COVID, like we were doing like the being where it's like, hey, so like it's interesting. Like people will ask us sometimes, like what kind of music do you play? We just say the good kind.
Yeah.
You could do a folk concert or a bluegrass concert or jazz, and with your range and ability to basically sing anything. Like,
That's not true. I thought you said you weren't much of a talker. All right, next question.
sorry.
Well, that is actually our
I'm
last
trying to
one,
answer the
but
question as honestly as I can. Like,
This is
there's
That's
great.
awesome.
like,
We love
who knows?
it.
We might do a jazz album next. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
That
that's
would be
true. We're all over the
awesome.
place. Yeah.
No, that's great. And I think, having that openness and knowing that you
It's
guys can take
2021,
it where
man.
you want to take it is great. So,
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's 2021. Both of you, great points. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
well, we are again so glad to have had you all with us this evening. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Have
Thank you,
fun,
guys.
everybody.
Yeah. All right,
Our
folks.
final artist,
We
ladies
are
and gentlemen.
We are ready for our final artist of this evening. Multi-instrumentalist Tanner Bingaman sings original folk mush and arrangements of traditional mountain tunes. He has made ends meet as a vegetable farmer, rock climbing enthusiast, river guide, all while sharing his music in bar rooms, living rooms, and festivals. Tanner's latest releases being Elias/Hunter, which is an instrumental EP just this year, and the latest self-titled album from the band Seldom Say No, which also was released here in 2021. Give a round of applause for Tanner Bingaman.
Can you write in the chat?
Hey, Tanner. Hey, Tanner, you're muted.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay,
we
nice.
can hear you. Can you
Okay.
hear us?
Yeah, I thought we were good
Woohoo!
to go that second round there, but we must have dropped again.
That's okay, Tanner. We are excited to hear your set now. So
Take
go
it
for
away,
it,
man.
friend.
You
Go
got
for it.
the silent version of a quarter of the song.
You looked really
You
good.
did. You looked awesome.
So committed to that
That's half the
performance.
battle.
True. All right, we're gonna let you do your thing now.
Okay, thank you.
All
Take it
Alrighty.
away, man.
Yep. All right, here we go. I'm going to start you for the third time for myself, at least, with a folk song. It's called Hills of Mexico. I went out to old Fort Worth in 1883 when a Mexican cowboy came stepping up to me, saying, "Hey, you young fellow, how would you like to go and spend the season work in the hills of Mexico? Yeah, we'll have no employment." Back to him I said, "It's according to your wages, 'tis according to your pay." Said, "I'll pay you good wages, on a steamboat we will go and spend a season work in the hills of Mexico." I went up to that old cowboy and offered him a hand. He gave me a string of horses so old they couldn't stand, and I nearly starved to death, boys. Yeah, I mean to let you know, I always went to bed hungry in the hills of Mexico. Oh, I sent off for my wages on a steamboat I did go. Yeah, the bells they were ringing and the whistles they did blow. Gonna make friends and loved ones and tell them not to go to that God-forsaken county in the hills of Mexico. To that God-forsaken county in the hills of Mexico. To that God-forsaken county, the hills of Mexico. Thank y'all, thank y'all. I heard the roaring applause over the internet. This that was one of my favorite folk songs. I picked that up this winter and couldn't really stop playing it. I'm gonna play. I think this is the first instrumental of the evening, if I'm not mistaken, unless I had stepped out for a minute. But I'm gonna dedicate one to my buddy Sean. He gave me this 12-string to take care of, and this is the first song that came out of it, and it's for his son. next song I'm gonna do is one for my grandma. I wrote this tune a long while back, and it's for folks that know my music. It seems to be a fan favorite. But this is it's a true story of sorts about her and her struggle and recovery with alcoholism, and it's got a sweet little ring to it. And I gotta play it because I think she's on the stream out there. If she's figured out how to get linked up, clearly the technological issues run in the family. So this one's called "Sweet Mary Ann." She was a sweet one. She set up south in Georgia playing youth in a local college band. She'd strum with her thumb and sing, her voice numb. They were known all across that campus land. Sweet Mary Ann, sweet Mary Ann. Hope someday I'll make you proud if I wind up in a band. Oh yeah, sweet Mary Ann. Mary, she once loved an old gypsy sailor, and together they made a Georgia peach. That peach grew up to be the mother of 3 sons that are lucky to have her in their reach. Sweet Mary Ann, sweet Mary Ann. Hope someday I make you proud if I wind up in a band. Oh yeah, sweet Mary Ann. Mary, she used to smoke cigarettes, and she drank them long necks down. But she gave it all up for the love of her grandsons, and that's love that counts for a whole lot right now. Yeah, she listens to folk music, oh, she'll hum a little tune. Yeah, sing la-da-dee-da, la-dee-dum-da-da-dee-da, la-da-dee-dum. Sweet Mary Ann, sweet Mary Ann. I hope someday I'll make you proud if I wind up in a band. Oh yeah, sweet Mary Ann. I hope someday I'll make you proud if I wind up in a band. Oh yeah, sweet Mary Ann. That was a tune for my grandbunny. Well, thanks to the Susquehanna Folk Fest for having me. I've followed the folk festival stuff for quite a while now, and it's cool to be a part of this with a bunch of other cool musicians. It's neat to see a bunch of people on this panel that I've gotten to see play live already or gotten to hang out with, and it'll be fun to connect with new musicians. This is another shout out to some old friends, and mainly a shout out to my buddy Hunter that he died tragically and way too young a few years ago, and I wrote this tune for him, and this will be my last song. Thank y'all for hanging out, and regardless of who you vote for, I'd encourage you to find the artist websites and find them on the streaming platforms, and go see them live if they're playing gigs. Buy their merch and music. It really does mean a lot to independent artists. All right, this one's for Hunter. It's called Old Friends. Remember when we were kids with no authority. Never stopped to wonder what we'd be when we grow up. You had a trampoline, I was hoping you might marry me. I don't know how things worked back then. I was 6 and you were 10. These days, I'm, for the most part, emotionally unemotional. I know I should be taking better care of myself, but I'm stuck up in my head again, thinking on old friends. My buddy Hunter died in a motorcycle crash. It was way too soon for him to pass. I wish you could have heard him laugh. We used to build forts in the woods behind my parents' house. I wish we could relive those days. I appreciate them more now, 'cause these days, I'm, for the most part, emotionally unemotional. I know I should be taking better care of myself. I'm stuck up in my head again, thinking on old friends. Sean, remember when we outran those cops? Got those fuckers good. Oh, we were dealing donuts in the parking lot. These days, I'm, for the most part, emotionally unemotional. I know I should be taking better care of myself. These days, I'm, for the most part, emotionally unemotional. I know I should be taking better care of myself. I'm stuck up in my head again, thinking on old friends.
Hey, Tanner.
Tanner, that was kicking, man. That was
Nice
so good.
job.
We heard like your applause. I feel like glad you can finally hear some appreciation. So, my friend, you use the term to describe your music as folk mush. How would you define that term for all of us?
I didn't define it. That was a product of Cactus Flea on Urban Dictionary. So you'll have to look it up on the Urban Dictionary if you want to see the official genre.
Yeah. What does it mean to you,
What
though?
does it
Like,
mean to you?
when you say that, like, what should we be thinking about?
It's just kind of an eclectic mix of a bunch of roots music with some punk influence and being conscious of global issues and all of that kind of mashed into a concoction.
Nice. Perfect.
Good.
I think we probably heard exactly that this evening. So, so one of your latest releases is like an instrumental collection. And so we kind of wanted you to tell us a little bit about that, because that's different and interesting. And yeah, so we just want to know a little more about it.
Yeah, that was so the 12 string I played was given to me by one of my old friends. His name's Sean. And I took that out west with me this winter. I usually have 2 months off or so in the winter from the farming season. And I went out to Arizona and stayed at a friend's place while they were away. Just my partner Lauren and I, and every day I recorded in some sort of improvisation every morning before going out and doing other things. And that collection was a product of that time this winter.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, it was a good little meditation album.
Yeah.
So you're obviously a incredibly proficient multi-instrumentalist. So did you What was your first love? Did you come to the banjo, then the guitar, or was it guitar, then banjo? What was the beginning of your journey?
I took this guitar from my dad after I was playing a beater, and then he decided to let me beat this one up, and I started writing songs pretty shortly after. And I got into the banjo through actually the John Butler Trio, and a few years later came to old time and bluegrass music, and now I played in some roots music type projects, and currently play with Celtic Said No as their primary banjo picker.
Nice. Is guitar still your primary love?
You know, if I
Oh no.
just because it's so versatile and it's still what I use to write most of my lyrical songs. But banjo is a really great break from feeling like I have to write lyrics. I feel less pressure to produce things when I'm playing banjo for some reason. And it's a just happy instrument, which is great.
Yeah.
Truly is. Well, Tanner, thank you so much for hanging out with us and playing a fantastic collection of folk mush, and we'll see you around.
Yeah. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Voting, as I say this, is now open at susquehannafolk.org/vote. You can see the link. So you can submit your choice for your favorite performer of the night.
So voting, just to remind you, and I'm actually going to set the timer right now, is only open for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And so we ask also that you only send one vote per audience member. Please do not spam the voting box.
We will let you know when voting has closed and let the judges deliberate on our next emerging artist.
So while we are waiting on voting and the deliberation of the judges, we have a couple of special musical guests for you all.
Oh, I was getting ready to vote.
Oh.
I thought you were reading this. Longtime staples of folk music in Central PA and great friends of SFMS. Please welcome Randy Cato and Craig Zumbrum of Still Limber.
Hi, folks. We're going to do a Pete Seeger tune, Well May the World Go. Start out with that. Well may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well may the world go when I'm far away. Well may the skiers turn, the swimmers churn, the lovers learn. Peace may the generals learn when I'm far away. Well may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well may the world go when I'm far away. Sweet may the fiddle sound, the banjo play the old lowdown. Dancers spinning round and round when I'm far away. Well may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well may the world go when I'm far away. Fresh may the breezes blow, clear may the rivers flow, blue above and green below, when I'm far away. Well may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well may the world go when I'm far away. Well may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well may the world go when I'm far away. Now we'll do an a cappella song, or a cappella as most people say. And I would like for this to be a true story, or words that describe me, but at least that's wishful thinking.
Very wishful on my part as well, Randy.
And let me have an A so we can do a smooth intro. For I like to rise when the sun she rises early in the morning, and I like to hear them small birds singing merrily among their leyland, And it's hurrah for the life of a country boy, and to ramble in the new mown hay. In spring we sow, and at the harvest mow, and that's how the seasons round they go. But of all the times to choose I may, I'll be rambling in the new mown hay. For I like to rise when the sun she rises early in the morning, and I like to hear them small birds singing merrily among their leyland. And it's hurrah for the life of a country boy, and to ramble in the new mown hay. Old winter, when the sun shines gay, we hedge and we ditch our time away. But in the summer, when the sun shines gay, I'll be rambling in the new mown hay. For I like to rise when the sun she rises early in the morning, and I like to hear them small birds singing merrily among their leyland. And it's hurrah for the life of a country boy, and to ramble in the new mown hay.
So we like to ramble in the new moon. Hey, that part's not a lie.
That makes me almost want to get up early in the morning.
So Randy's been very quickly converting me from a guy that did traditional American folk and also Celtic music to an old-timey and otherwise old-timey and Appalachian and so forth. And so this is one that he's taught me recently, and I've just about got it memorized.
It's called 8 More Miles to Louisville, and this is Grandpa Jones' song. Wait. I've traveled over this countryside seeking fortune fair. I've been down the two coastlines, I've traveled everywhere. From Portland east and Portland west, back along the line. I'm going now to a place that's past that old hometown of mine. 8 more miles to Louisville will come into my view. 8 more miles on this old road, and I'll never more be blue. I knew one day that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. There's sure to be a girl somewhere that you love best of all. One that's down in Louisville, she's long and she's tall. She's the kind that you won't find rambling through the land. I'm on my way this very day to win her heart and 8 more miles to Louisville, we're coming to my view. 8 more miles on this old road, and I'll never more be blue. I knew one day that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. What happens in, okay, yeah, now, I remember. Now I can picture in my mind the place that we'll call home. Pretty little hut for two, we'll never want to roam. The place that's right for that left side is in them Bluegrass hills, while wind lane blows the Ohio by a place called Louisville. 8 more miles to Louisville, we're coming to my view. 8 more miles on this old road, and I'll never more be blue. I knew one day that I'd come back, I knew it from the start. 8 more miles to Louisville, the hometown of my heart. One more time, everybody sing along. sleigh bill will come into my view. 8 more miles on this old road, and I'll never more be blue. Then one day that I come back, I'll do it from the start. 8 more miles of Louisville, the hometown of my heart.
Okay.
Alrighty then.
So Randy, being an ecclesiastically bent kind of fellow, married to the clergy, and he also shares
Just one clergy.
just one clergy, but it's a big one. He's doing well, and we've got a song that goes on, and we're gonna do them all for you.
Yep. This is for you, Pastor Debbie. Low battery. Close. Uh-oh. Got 10%. Maybe she wants to. Maybe we're going to plug in our newfangled TV here. All right, so we'll start out with the circle being broken, and I might remember to yell out the next chorus of the next old-time hymn, and that'll give you a head start on getting the words formulated in your head and singing along with us. But if you don't know the words, you can mumble along. That works perfectly fine.
So we can do it quick.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I'll fly away, I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. I saw the light, I saw the light, I saw the light. No more in darkness, no more in night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.
Thanks a lot, folks, and we hope you had happy voting.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the music. Good night.
I didn't want to plug it in.
Sorry.
I think
So-
on this side.
So everybody's just smiling.
Yeah. And you guys, we didn't know that you all were done quite yet. So just give us 1 minute and we'll be with you all in just a second. All right, folks, we're still waiting on our judges' deliberation. So we're going to just take a moment to say a couple thank yous.
And the first thank you definitely should be to Still Limber.
Yeah.
It was a killer set. Thank you so much, gentlemen. So, folks, as they say, it takes a village to run a virtual emerging artist folk music showcase. So we have a lot of people to thank for all of the hard work. You know, we all come together for this great evening, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you stuck around. And this is months in preparation of, obviously, for the artists, a lifelong pursuit of getting good at their instruments and whatnot, but for so many people in our organization to put this event on. So we want to recognize some people.
All right. So we'd like to start by thanking, obviously, our finalists. So thank you to all of you for joining us this evening and sharing your talents. This really was another just incredible lineup for Emerging Artist Showcase, and we are so glad that the future of folk music is in such capable hands. We also want to give a big old shout out to Joe Cooney, who had to also step in really last minute as one of our judges, but he has been organizing this event and just made it another really awesome, successful year.
We'd, of course, like to thank our executive director, Jess Hayden, the festival steering committee, the festival social media committee. My wife is part of it. Lori Brandenburg, and all those who helped and volunteered to make this year's Susquehanna Folk Festival all summer long such a success.
This is officially the last event of our festival, so we are sad to see it go, but it has been a great summer of events.
The end of Hot Folk Summer.
And finally, we would like to thank you, our audience, for tuning in and continuing to support SFMS. Please stay tuned for all of the exciting upcoming events that we have in store. So, we know our winner. And without further ado,
We have to do a drum roll.
we have to do a drum roll.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. We have loved being your host.
Without further ado,
Your winner is...
Tanner Bingaman. Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
Hey, thank you. Can you hear me?
We
Yes,
can.
we can. Congratulations, Tanner. A well-deserved win.
Thanks.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel kind of glad it's over. I get stressed out by these
For
music
sure.
competitions.
That's very fair.
Very well deserved, my friend. Do you have another tune or song for us?
Yeah, sure. I'll play another one. My brother and I wrote this one together. I stole some of the lines from a poem he sent me while he was serving the Peace Corps in Mozambique. And so I'll send this one out to him. It's on all the streaming platforms if folks want to check it out. It's called
Awesome.
Wonderful. Well, we're excited to have you play us out. Folks, this is Peter Winter
And Sarah Willard.
signing off.
See you all later.
Hey, Dad, are you proud of your sons? See you having called 911. I've been trying so hard not to worry your heart. Don't want you to call the ambulance, cause I took too many pills again. Hey, Ma, I know you haven't been well. Don't want company when you're going through hell. But if it's any consolation, I've been seeing things again. Thought I had it figured out before, but I don't know anymore. I might need some help, please. I might need some help, please. I wanna be mad happy, but mostly I'm just mad. All the memories that made me me, I wish I never had. I wanna be mad happy, but mostly I'm just mad. All the memories that made me me, I wish I never had. I wanna be mad happy, but mostly I'm just mad. All the memories that made me me, I wish I never had. Hey, Dad, are you proud of your sons? See you having called 911. I've been trying so hard not to worry your heart. I don't want you to call the ambulance, cause I took too many pills again. Hey, thanks everybody for hanging out. It's good to meet all y'all folks virtually. Have a good night.